to promote that care of environment. So we're about climate change. I remember many years ago I heard or read somewhere of a Chinese curse. I think it was Chinese, and it said, "May you live in changing times. May you live in changing times." For to live in changing times is difficult. And we are definitely living in changing times in our world today. Almost everything we know is changing. And particularly with this pandemic, it is changing. And our climate is changing. And we can live in an interim time, or what we call a liminal time, that we have left something behind and we have not yet arrived at whatever is new. We are in between. And that is a difficult time to live in. Now, for the environment, we know that there are many, many problems and difficulties we have. There's been a huge increase in population in the last 50 to 100 years. So a greater need for food production. We have a huge amount of deforestation with all the environmental problems that entails. And with all, for example, the Amazon forest is getting cut down at an enormous rate. Pollution, toxins, many, many different things. And what it is calling us to is to a new way of living, a new approach to life, a new thinking. And also we must take into account, we in places like Australia and the Western world are much better off than people in many other places. In many other places, they can't be bothered, they can't afford to think about too much about environment. They have to survive. So they cut the forest, they plant, they have to feed their families, their children. They don't have the luxury of disposing of waste and plastics and many of these things as we have. So the cycle goes on. And in Australia, we have great long arguments, political and social arguments about coal. Well, if we shut down all our coal in Australia, including exports, we would hardly make a difference to the burning of coal in the world. Places like China, India, Vietnam, and other countries are building coal-powered power stations as fast as they can go. So the little bit that we can contribute if we stopped everything would be minimal on the face of the earth. So it's a huge problem. But we're all being called to a new approach, a new mind, a new understanding of care of the environment. And what I'd say in this is also part of our mission to the world, the environment that we live in, because we are called to relate to the creation that God gave us. We are called to understand it and care for it. And this is a big calling for us as we move through this time, and hopefully we can come to a new place, a better understanding of the environment. And also that then calls us to relate to each other in a different way. So there are many issues involved in it. And as church, that is part of our calling. We are not living outside of society, we are living in society. We are affected by every aspect of these problems and these situations and these issues. So we can begin to think more, perhaps read more, perhaps understand more, perhaps discuss more about all these issues of climate and environment, and move to hopefully a new position, a new understanding of what that is, so that we can all begin to make a difference. See, if all the Catholics on the face of the earth would really address the issues of environment, we could probably solve it, because we have the numbers. But it needs the commitment and it needs action. So, have a great day on mission in this environment that we have within the creation that is ours. Thank you for listening.